Hey,
Hey,
Jill,
hey, Laura.
how are ya? It's Friday, and we are like so glad it's the end of the week for
Yep.
everybody at TGIF. And you know what? This weekend, a lot of the concerts start outside.
Woo! We are excited.
Starting to go and hang out with friends. So look at your local bands and stuff and see what they're playing this weekend. But with that, Debbie, we have a great topic today. Oh, we're so excited. Get your pens and paper out, take notes if you can, because this is unbelievable. I know a lot of you know about this, but when you really listen to all the other things that this could do for you, and that is the healing power of sound. It's amazing what we have found out. So, Debbie, with that, you want to start off with that?
Sure. And I just want to say this, okay, for instance, that Lori and I came up with this subject and, we're just gonna be, we're always very transparent because, again, Lori and I are just two crazy chicks doing this. Okay. We're having a great time. We're finding out all these subjects that when we start to research them, we find that we implement all of the things that we're learning and it's helping us. And we're hoping that like when you hear things that we're talking about that you listen to what we're saying, but then you go and do some due diligence and research and find, things. And also, I just want to make mention before we start talking is that if there's something that you need, whether it's like a certain source or you need to know, hey, do you ladies have something that will help with this, that, and the other thing? Okay. We have such a huge network now of people that we've been interviewing that we can link you up and we can say, hey, talk to this person, talk to this person. Lori and I aren't going to answer the questions. Lori and I aren't going to do the stuff. We're going to find the people that have the degrees and have the PhDs or have the, knowledge of, and they're going to be the ones that can direct you and guide you. So I just want to kind of say that because I think it's really important. But, it's really crazy when we talk about some of the stuff that we find, the healing benefit of sound. There's some actually precise things that have been discussed and talked about over time that can actually make an impact, and especially like with people that have ailments and different things. Okay, and also mood enhancement. So benefits. There's some research that has been very significant that can talk about first of all sleep. Okay, so I'm gonna probably get a bet here. I can't do a percentage accurately, but I'll bet you 90% of the people listening today have had sleep issues sometime. Maybe it's not every time, but sometime, whether something's weighing heavy on you, or maybe you're just not feeling well, and maybe sometimes you can't sleep because of that, or maybe you need to sleep more, which is okay too. But sleep is so important and going into that deep REM sleep. And so they're saying that if you can do something, some classical style music, relaxing music, smoothing sounds, something like that will help you have a better, improved sleep.
Right.
The worst thing you can really do, you guys, is listen to the news and then try to go to sleep. Okay, seriously, especially now. And I'm sorry, I hate to say this. We want to know what's going on, but maybe listen to the 5 o'clock news instead of the 10 o'clock news. You need to be informed, but I'm serious. Sometimes that something triggers you and then you have a worry going on in your mind and you just can't sleep good. So anyways, it'll help you. It says that you can actually sleep longer, fall into a deeper sleep, and be more relaxed. With that, Lori, I want to ask you, have you ever, because I've used my Alexa before and tried to do that like ocean thing, have you ever tried that? It's awesome.
I have. I really have. And you forget about this stuff. But listen, reading all this stuff, because I'm one of those guilty people for watching the news late at night and I get all worked up about it. But you know what? Starting tonight, I'm going to start a routine of listening to music. And I think it'll be even good for my partner Gary, because we're all worked up before we go to bed, and then it's hard to go to sleep, and then we're up every couple of hours. So yes, I have, and I've heard of it before. And you know what? You forget about this stuff, but I'm going to put notes around my house saying, listen to the music, the waves, or whatever to get me to relax at night. So I suggest that everybody try it for a couple nights and see what happens. And let me know. Let us know. Leave a comment here in a couple days and let me know. Or let Debbie and I know. But with that, I'm going to go into stress reduction. Oh my gosh. Stress is like the number one killer of all of us these days, especially with everything going on. Like Debbie said, stress is just everybody experiences stress. And they said the sounds actually relax you and and they moderate your volume throughout the day. So they'll keep you going during the day. So you're at a regular level instead of an up and down level. So, you can listen to the music in the background. Like right now, I don't know if you could hear it, but I have some stress music on my phone, and it's just real light. But you know what? I'm gonna try doing that for the day and see what happens because we get all worked up with everything. You know, I think listening to anything besides music, like stress relief music. I think even just listening to books on tape instead of watching TV while you're cleaning. Everything seems to go so much better because you're focusing on the book instead of what you're feeling. I know
Hmm.
when we've talked about this before, but when I do that, I get so much stuff done and I don't even realize it. Or
Right.
even music, Christian music, if you're a Christian, yes, any upbeat music, any sound that's beside the TV is going to help you deal with stress. Do
Hmm.
you have anything to say about that, Deb?
I do. I just want to say one thing that I feel like, okay, a lot of times sound, and you said listening to books. Okay, so it's kind of like in the same, it's the same category, obviously, but you want that positive vibe, because it's really easy to go to the dark side. It's really easy to start thinking about your worries and your concerns, and we all have so many of them, more so than ever, and so I think what you just said is so true. And I think it's kind of funny. My husband laughs at me because the minute I walk in the door, I turn on the Alexa. And a lot of times I'll be Alexa Christian music or Alexa, 70s if I'm cleaning house, I for sure put the 70s music on because I'm like, I got to get this job done. I want to get this clean. But it puts your spirit better, especially if it's a dreary day. Like it's a little rainy in Chicagoland right now. And so, you could tend to not feel as like spunky. So, but if you can kind of close the blinds and forget that it's like that and then put that music on. I'm going to move over to pain. Okay, so pain, it's kind of interesting. I would have never thought this, but the sound waves go through our central nervous system and it kind of like perks up our senses and our nerves. And so sometimes those signals act to block the pain signals. Okay, so they kind of like, I don't know, maybe they kind of like ignite our nerves a little bit and kind of like, so I thought that was kind of interesting because it reduces your perception of pain. Or is it just that we forget about it a little bit? We're
Mhm.
not focusing on it. Okay. So I can tell you that if I focus on, oh, my back is hurting or something, or, oh, this is going on. And then, but if I'm like forgetful of it, and somebody, oh, how's your back doing? Oh, it's okay. It's fine because I wasn't really thinking about it. Maybe the pain might still be there, but then again, you just did. So studies have confirmed that pain is reduced when sound and music is used. So with that, Laura, I'm going to turn it to you.
Well, going back to the pain, I was reading about some stuff, and I also went on YouTube to look up some stuff. So I suggest that you go on YouTube and look up the health benefits of sound, and you'll find a lot of stuff. But they were talking about pain, and they were talking about how dentists are now starting to do that. They're letting you bring in your music, and they put your earphones on, and you listen to like really relaxing music, and it takes away from your pain when they're drilling in your teeth or anything they're doing. Well, after all, what is the most stressful thing for people to do is to go to the dentist.
Yeah.
Nobody likes to go to the dentist. So you could ask your dentist if you could put your earphones on and earplugs, I should say, and then listen to some kind of music. And I'm sure they're going to do it, or they maybe even already set up. Do
Right.
you notice when you go into some offices, doctor's office, not a lot, but they have a real light music playing in there? You know, I'm sure it's done so you don't have the stress before you go in there because everybody's nervous going to the doctors.
Yeah.
Even elevators. You ever hear of elevator
Oh,
music?
yeah. Elevator music.
The
Yeah.
elevator. A lot of people get stressed out in the elevator, claustrophobic and stuff. So, yeah, with that, let's go to it's depression and anxiety. Oh my gosh. I'm sure everybody knows somebody that suffers with depression and anxiety. And again, I know it too well, and in my family too. And if you're gonna get upset about something, just put some music on to see if it'll calm you down. Do you ever hear the story when people say, when you have an issue that you can't figure out how to do it, just walk away from it and come back to it later? That would be the great opportunity to put music on to see if it could relax you so you could come up with an idea of what you want to do, how you want to handle a situation. So,
Hmm.
music is just for everything. I want to see what it says here. Um, it says several factors work together here to create a significant improvement of these conditions. Stress is reduced, pain is lessened, and sleep is improved. All these factors work to improve symptoms of depression and reduce anxiety. So, Debbie, do you have anything on that?
I just want to mention two things. I want to say that, I go to an acupuncturist, and she's awesome. She's wonderful. And so when you're in there, I mean, it's so cool because she's got the music on this like
Uh,
light, nice, like surreal, And so as she puts in the needles, and then you just lay there, and like I literally fall asleep. I mean, it's so great, but it boosts your immune system and all that kind of stuff. But definitely, I think that the music for depression and anxiety can lift your spirits, because there's so many times. How many times have we sat there and jammed out to a song because we know the words? Okay. And you might be by yourself, you might be in your car, and all of a sudden someone's looking at you, but you're like, who cares? Right. You're just singing it, and it's lifting your spirits. There's certain songs that will do that for you. And I can't, I'm bad at like naming songs or whatever, but I know one: Celebration.
yeah,
Lori and I, or We Are
yeah,
Family. Okay, you put that song on, and the first thing I start to think of is us back in the disco days, when we'd be on the dance floor, and I can picture all of us just
yeah.
dancing and having a good time. And it puts you back to that like era in your mind, and you think to yourself, and it makes you happy. Just like, our one of our favorite bands, Strung Out, and we're hoping that we're going to be seeing them tomorrow night. They're, if we can make that, it's great. You get there and you forget about everything, every problem that you left in your car at
Right.
your house. You are there and you are in your element of happiness, and it's just great. So I just love music. I feel like it's music to me is therapy. It's a cheap therapy you don't have to pay for, because you can get music anywhere you go. One of the best gifts you guys could give anybody, honest to God, is one of those Alexas. Those, and the ones that are just the little dot work just as big as the one that's in the canister, and you're paying less for the one that's the little dot. I mean, I love that thing. So, anyways, and moving on to the next subject, restoring cellular activity. This is pretty like deep. Okay, so I don't really know. It says studies say that improving the function of the membrane walls and biologic activities, and so it's restores the cellular function. You know, that's one that I can't explain and I can't say, but it's written down here and here, and I think that there's got to be some scientific stuff and scientific data that can actually, back that up, and goes beyond my knowledge, that's for sure. But it makes complete sense to me. What do you think, Laura?
Yeah, it does. It makes sense. A lot of this stuff, like Debbie says, is over our head, but maybe if you're interested in learning more, do research on it like we do. And maybe we could find somebody that knows more about it. If you're interested, let us know. But there's so many things that, like here, it says reprogram your DNA. And I'm like, okay, well, then I was reading research has indicated that specific sound waves can even be used to stimulate DNA to repair itself, especially reprogramming the DNA sequencing. The potential for medical treatments with this is astounding, but research is still in the early stages. So they're doing a lot of research about with what music is doing. It's just amazing. I mean, you really start listening to some of this stuff, and you start looking into it, and you realize that music is really free. It's not like it's, and you know what I was listening to? It's not a prescription. You don't have to take a pill. And, you know, hey, let's down those pills. I would love to, because I mean, music is it, you know, God gave us this music for a reason. You know, music has been around since the beginning of time. You know, even if they took a bowl and took a stick to it and made noise with it, it goes way back in time. And, you know, I mean, we have this resource right in front of us, and it can help us do so many different things that help us. Wouldn't it be great if, you know, you put music on first thing in the morning and you get your stuff done and you just start the day with a great day, especially like Debbie said, something that was from your younger years. Oh my gosh, well, I'll be a happier place, especially with what we've been through the last year. We have to come out of our houses and we have to celebrate our lives.
Mhm.
Do you have any more to say, Deb?
I just thought of something as you were speaking about this. I was thinking, think about, you know, both Lori and I are very blessed to be mothers and grandmothers. Okay. But think about the lullabies. Think
Oh,
about how
yes.
every one of us, well, whoever raised you, whether, you know, like they always either they hummed to you, they sang to you, they put a lullaby on. I remember that I was at a baby shower and they've got these things that you can actually put the music right up near the crib and it plays like you know, so that the baby falls asleep, or they have the little twirly things that they can look at that has little like songs. And I used to sing the ABCs to my kids when they were in my tummy, you know, like, and it's funny, like I had a client over who her little baby was only a year old, but she was singing the ABCs not purely in word, it was in the sounds. And I said, that's incredible. But people pick up music so young, you know, even animals, you guys, even animals do well with music, right, Laura? I mean, you've got some cats, I have a dog. I mean, it's crazy, you know?
It's
So
absolutely crazy how that works. And, you know, I think about it of all the years, you know, and, you know, I don't have a very good voice when I
I
sing.
don't either. I don't either.
You know what? I raised a kid that actually two of my kids have absolutely beautiful voices.
I do too.
You know, and it's like, well, we inspired them somehow, so they got something out of us, but that's another story. But yeah, so if anybody has any questions or if they want us to research anything, like Debbie says, we will do that for you. I would love to do that for you. I'm like the research queen. But with that, Debbie, you want to close us out?
Absolutely. I just want to say that we're excited that we, you know, the summer's coming. Next week is, you know, 4th of July, and we have some other great, you know, interviews that are coming up. We're getting, actually, Lori and I are finding people probably through the end of August. So we're really, you know, packed up. We're excited about we hit that one goal. So now remember, our next goal is 1,000. We're excited. We're excited about what we're seeing, what's happening, the connects we're making, and all that kind of stuff. Just be safe this weekend. Hopefully you guys can go out and enjoy some music. And with that, we're going to say have a wonderful, safe weekend going into this next week.
Everyone. Bye-bye.
Take care, guys.
Listen to
Bye-bye.
the sounds. Bye.
Take care.